We've all been there, standing on the precipice of someplace new, a boarding pass clutched in our sweaty hands like a winning lottery ticket. The smell of jet fuel, a symphony of crackling announcements, the dull roar of distant engines. It's intoxicating, isn't it? That heady mix of anticipation and anxiety. But before you can lose yourself in the labyrinthine alleys of Marrakesh, or find yourself face to face with the Eiffel Tower, there are a few things you need to know. Let's be honest, traveling to a new country, especially one where they might not speak your language or share your customs, can be daunting. It's like ordering off a menu where you don't recognize a single ingredient. You might end up with something delicious, or something you spit into your napkin when the waiter isn't looking. Planning your next international trip? Here's everything you need to know to make your journey smooth and enjoyable. Let's start with the obvious, shall we? You can't very well hop a plane to Bhutan with just a library card. You need a passport, that little booklet that proves you're not some international fugitive. Make sure it's up to date too. Some countries won't let you in if your passport expires within 6 months of your arrival. They want you in and out, spending money, not threatening their delicate ecosystem by overstaying your welcome. Now, a passport is your ticket out of Dodge, but a visa, that's your backstage pass. Some countries require them, some don't. It's like trying to score a seat at a crowded bar. Sometimes you need to know the guy at the door. You can usually apply for a visa online or at your destination's embassy. But be warned, this isn't something you want to leave until the last minute. Bureaucracy moves at its own pace, and that pace is often glacial. Trust me, nothing kills the mood like being stuck in your own country because you didn't file the right paperwork. Now, you've got options. A traditional passport book filled with empty pages begging for stamps or a passport card. The card's cheaper, fits in your wallet, and is good for air travel within North America, the Caribbean, and Bermuda. And this is a big but, it's only valid for entry by land or sea from those places. So you want to go further afield? To taste the pungent spices of India, or lose yourself in the neon-drenched streets of Tokyo. You'll need the book. It's like the difference between a studio apartment and a sprawling villa. Sure, the studio might get the job done, but the villa? That's where the real adventure lies. And remember, keep those documents safe. We're not talking tucking them in your back pocket and hoping for the best. Get yourself a money belt, a hidden pouch, something, anything, to keep those precious papers out of the hands of opportunistic souls who might see your disorientation as their payday. Because losing your passport in a foreign country, my friends, that's a special kind of hell. Trust me on this one. All right, you've got your passport sorted, visa secured. You're practically an international man or woman of mystery. But hold your horses, Indiana Jones. Before you go charging off into the unknown, let's talk about research. Because knowing where you're going and what to expect, well, that's the difference between a tourist and a traveler. We're not just talking about which 5-star hotel has the fluffiest bathrobes. We're talking about cultural immersion, baby. What's the local etiquette like? Do they bow, shake hands, kiss on both cheeks? Do they drive on the right side of the road or the left? Are there any local customs you need to be aware of? Learn a few key phrases in the local language. It doesn't have to be much, but a little effort goes a long way. Hello, thank you. Where's the bathroom? These are your tools of diplomacy, your way of saying, hey, I'm trying here. You'll be surprised how far a little linguistic effort can take you. And for God's sake, download a translation app. You don't want to be that person frantically pointing at a menu, hoping the waiter understands your guttural cries for sustenance. Technology is your friend. Embrace it. Then there's the food, the lifeblood of any good trip. What's the local delicacy? Is it something you eat with chopsticks, your hands, a spork fashioned from a coconut shell? Don't be afraid to step outside your culinary comfort zone. Some of the best meals, the most memorable bites, are the ones that challenge your palate, that make you say, what the hell is this, and can I have some more? And listen, don't just stick to the tourist traps. Venture off the beaten path, talk to the locals, find those hidden gems, those hole-in-the-wall eateries where the food is made with love and generations of tradition. That's where the real magic happens. Remember, travel is about more than just checking things off a list. It's about opening yourself up to new experiences, new cultures, new ways of seeing the world. All right, now that you've got the lay of the land, let's talk about getting you there. Booking flights, the bane of every traveler's existence. But it doesn't have to be a battle royale for the cheapest seats. First things first, timing is everything. You want to fly on a Tuesday afternoon in February? Be my guest. You'll practically have the plane to yourself. But trying to snag a flight the Friday before Christmas? Well, you better be prepared to sell a kidney or two. And don't even get me started on airlines. Budget airlines, legacy carriers, low-cost long haul. It's enough to make your head spin. Do your research, compare prices, read the fine print. Because that amazing deal might turn out to cost you an arm and a leg once they tack on all the extra fees for baggage, seat selection, and breathing the recycled air. Now, I'm not saying you need to fly first class every time. Sometimes the cramped quarters of economy are part of the adventure. But if you can swing it, treat yourself to a little luxury. A little extra legroom, a glass of champagne, a hot towel that doesn't smell like a gym sock. These are the small pleasures that make travel bearable. And once you've booked those flights, print out your confirmations. Technology is great until it's not. Dead phones, spotty Wi-Fi, these are the enemies of the unprepared traveler. So be smart, be prepared, and for God's sake, pack some snacks. Because airport food, let's just say it's not winning any Michelin stars. Okay, you've landed, you've cleared customs, you haven't lost your passport. Congratulations, you've officially made it. Now, the real adventure begins, navigating a foreign city. But don't worry, it's not as daunting as it seems. First things first, ditch the taxi line. Unless you enjoy getting ripped off or stuck in traffic that would make a saint weep, that is. Most major cities have public transportation options that are cheap, efficient, and a great way to get a feel for the city. The subway, the metro, the underground, whatever you call it. It's your ticket to urban exploration. It's a melting pot of humanity, a crash course in local life, and a great way to get from point A to point B without breaking the bank. Plus, you're guaranteed to overhear some interesting conversations. Just try not to make eye contact. Then there are buses, those lumbering behemoths that snake their way through city streets. They might not be glamorous, but they're reliable, and they'll get you where you need to go. Plus, they offer a panoramic view of the city, unlike the subterranean world of the subway. And if you're feeling adventurous, hop on a bike. Many cities have bike-sharing programs, and it's a great way to see the sights at your own pace. Just remember to wear a helmet and brush up on your traffic laws. The last thing you want is a run-in with a local taxi driver who thinks traffic lights are merely suggestions. And for those times when you need to get somewhere fast, there's always ride-sharing apps. They're ubiquitous, they're convenient, and they'll save you from trying to hail a cab during rush hour. But whatever mode of transportation you choose, remember to be aware of your surroundings. Keep your wits about you, your valuables close, and don't be afraid to ask for directions if you get lost. Let's talk lodging. You've spent all day exploring, soaking up the local culture, and stuffing your face with exotic delicacies. Now you need a place to crash, to recharge, to dream of all the adventures tomorrow holds. But with so many options, it can be overwhelming. Hotels, hostels, guest houses, Airbnb, the choices are endless. But don't just blindly book the first place you see. Consider your needs, your budget, and your tolerance for snoring roommates. If you're on a shoestring budget, hostels are a great option. They offer dorm-style rooms, communal kitchens, and a chance to meet fellow travelers from around the world. Just be prepared to share a bathroom with strangers and invest in some earplugs. Trust me on that one. Looking for something a little more private? Guest houses offer a cozy, intimate alternative to hotels. They're often family-run, full of character, and come with a complimentary breakfast. Plus, you'll get insider tips from the locals, which are worth their weight in gold. And then there's Airbnb, the disruptor of the lodging industry. You can find everything from a shared room in a hip neighborhood to a sprawling villa overlooking the Mediterranean. Just be sure to read the reviews carefully and manage your expectations. That charming rustic cottage might turn out to be a dilapidated shack with questionable plumbing. But regardless of where you choose to rest your weary head, remember this. It's not about the thread count of the sheets or the view from your window. It's about having a safe, comfortable, and convenient base camp for your adventures. All right, let's talk about everyone's favorite topic, packing. Packing for an international trip can feel like trying to solve a Rubik's Cube while riding a unicycle. How do you fit everything you need into a suitcase the size of a bread box? First things first, ditch the what-if mentality. You're not going to need 5 pairs of shoes, 3 hats, and that sequin dress you haven't worn since college. Pack light, pack smart, and pack for the unexpected. Roll your clothes instead of folding them. It saves space and minimizes wrinkles. Pack versatile items that can be dressed up or down. And don't forget a lightweight scarf or pashmina. It can double as a blanket, a head covering, or a fashion statement in a pinch. Now let's talk about customs. Those gatekeepers of international travel, the ones who decide whether your souvenirs make it home with you. Every country has its own set of rules and regulations about what you can and cannot bring across their borders. Do your research, declare everything, and don't even think about smuggling in that salami you bought at the local market. Trust me, it's not worth the hassle. And for God's sake, leave the firearms at home. Unless you're a trained assassin, you won't need them. And remember, when it comes to currency, it's best to exchange a small amount before you go, and then use ATMs or credit cards once you arrive. Just be sure to notify your bank of your travel plans to avoid any unwelcome surprises. Let's face it, airport security is nobody's idea of a good time. The endless lines, the invasive pat-downs, the constant fear that you've accidentally packed a forbidden tube of toothpaste, it's enough to make you want to swear off travel altogether. But what if I told you there's a way to bypass the chaos, to glide through security like a VIP? Enter the world of Expedited security screening programs, your ticket to a stress-free airport experience. Now I'm talking about programs like TSA PreCheck, Global Entry, and Clear. They might sound like something out of a spy thriller, but trust me, they're the real deal. These programs allow you to breeze through dedicated security lanes, keep your shoes on, your laptop in your bag, and your dignity intact. Sure, they require a bit of upfront investment, an application, a background check, a nominal fee, but the time and hassle you'll save are priceless. Plus, you'll feel like a rock star, flashing your special card and bypassing the huddled masses. To see if you qualify and to enroll in a program, visit the official website of the relevant agency, like the TSA for PreCheck or CBP for Global Entry. So do yourself a favor and sign up for one of these programs. Your sanity will thank you. Well, there you have it, your crash course in international travel, courtesy of yours truly. Look, the world is a vast and wondrous place, full of incredible experiences just waiting to be had. But it can also be intimidating, especially if you're a first-time traveler. But remember, the key is to be prepared, be open to new experiences, and don't be afraid to embrace the unknown. Because it's in those moments of uncertainty, of stepping outside your comfort zone, that the real magic happens. With these tips, you're all set for a hassle-free international adventure. Safe travels!